Hello and welcome. In this particular video right here, I will show you how you can generate awesome YouTube thumbnails using a tool that pretty much does it all for you, right? It creates YouTube thumbnails for you. And so let's get to it. But first of all, we need some videos that we can study. Now, which better way to get ideas of best-selling or best thumbnails than YouTube, okay? And I'm actually talking about thumbnails with text in them. So here, let's say, for example, trading with AI, trading with AI. And then I click the send button, in which case this is going to show me some thumbnails. Now, I will start by copying this particular image right here. Now, normally, if you just hover over here and the video starts, it's basically because you don't have YouTube Premium. Now, because I have YouTube Premium, even if I hover over it, it doesn't stop. And sometimes it can be just a technical glitch. I'm not really a connoisseur when it comes to this, but if you don't find a way to copy the thumbnail directly from YouTube, you can just open the link in a new tab. Now, I'll have to deactivate the sound. And you can copy this URL of the video, and then you can go to Google. And then you can basically paste this in Google and hit the send button, because that is a video. It's indexed in the search engines, and you should go and look it up in images. Now, if you don't find it this way, then just copy the exact title of the video itself, and also maybe the name of the person that uploaded that video. And then you should find it. So here it is. If you click, as you can see, this is basically going to show you the image, and all you need to do is to copy this image. Now, like I said, because I can copy it directly from YouTube, I'll just go ahead and copy it directly from YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to go and click copy image, and that's about it. Now let's go to Ideogram. Now inside of ideogram.ai, go to creations. Now I'll make sure that I delete anything from here, and I'll delete anything, and I'll just click Control V because I had the image copied onto clipboard. There it is. And I'll click remix. Now, let's say, for example, that you wanted to make a video similar to this, or that you're a freelancer and basically you're making a thumbnail for a particular YouTube channel that, they asked you to create a thumbnail, kind of similar to this or the similar title. Now, here it says game over. We could say something different, but first and foremost, let's come back over here. Now, the style is left to auto at this point, but you can make it realistic if you want. But what auto does is it actually alternates between all of these styles: general, realistic, design, 3D, and anime. Okay? And here, in terms of the image weight, the higher the image weight, the more the result is going to look similar to the image that you've uploaded and remixed. So therefore, you'd like to keep this down at 50 or below 50. Now here, there is a description: a man with a beard and short hair. So let's say you want to say something different. Let's say you want to say a young man with a mustache and green hair. I don't know. Let's say you want the man to have green hair, wearing a t-shirt or white t-shirt. You can say something else. You can say black t-shirt if you want. I will say a dollar t-shirt, a dollar sign t-shirt. He's positioned in the center of the image. Behind him, there's a transparent overlay of US dollar bill. And then here they've put the text. Now the text says game over, but you can say something else. Let's say you don't want this to have to say game over. You can say $10,000 per month, like this, and then you can go ahead and click remix. Now I'll remix each time at lower image weights. I'll go for 30. And now this is going to kickstart the process. So I just want to show you the first image, because we can just go ahead and design a bunch of other images. And it's just not just about trading. So you could go for something entirely different if you want to. So for example, you could go for make money online niche, the food niche, anything really. But the thing is, this actually enables you to generate these thumbnails without breaking a sweat. So I'll go ahead here. Instead of trading with AI, I'll say make money online. Make money online is also a very, very huge niche. All right, so make money online. We have this one. It was uploaded 1 day ago. So let's say you want to create a thumbnail like that, using the same style. You just want to change the person and the money, okay, the amount of money. Now let's go back to check out our, designs, and you can see here that this is working pretty fantastically. $10,000 a month. The guy has a mustache, and it's not perfectly edited, which means we can edit it out perfectly ourselves, but it looks pretty good, So assuming that you liked one of these, I don't know which one of them you would have liked. Now, personally, I think this one is great, but let's say you liked something else. Let's say you like this one, and you just wanted to edit this. Now, this says 10,000, but here it says 1,000. So let's say you want to edit that. So you can actually download this as a PNG, and then you can head straight to canva.com, okay? Canva.com. In canva.com, you have Canva Magic Studio, which enables you to grab text out of a design, to use the magic eraser. There's the magic grab. There's a lot of things you can do or you can use in Canva Magic Studio. So here we go. Here we are in canva.com. I'll just wait a second. And then here I can immediately click on the YouTube thumbnail, YouTube thumbnail template. It's actually already in the size that we desire, because a YouTube thumbnail should be, I believe, 1,280 by 720 pixels. If I am correct, I might be wrong. Now I'll open this new project, and let's say, for example, this is the thumbnail, 10,000. You want to name it $10,000 trading thumbnail. Now, here we are. Now, normally, if you wanted to create thumbnails, you'd have to go through a lot of different things. You'd have to use a template from Canva. You'd have to edit. You have to upload things. But here, obviously, what we have to do is just a couple of tweaks. So first and foremost, I could just give more life to this image by, let me set it up as the image, the background image. We have some text that is repeated, and so I'll start by clicking Edit. And then right here, I'll use the Grab Text tool like this in the Magic or the Canva Magic Studio. And this should allow me to grab the text, all right? And so I will start by grabbing all the text except for those dollar signs. So I'll grab this, and I'll click Grab. Now what this is going to do is going to grab both pieces of text. I'll get rid of one, and I'll leave the other. Now here, it appears to have grabbed the dollar text. Yeah, but it left some dollar in there, so that's pretty cool. Now what we can do is we can click out, we can remove this part. And now the issue is that it actually left the face botched. I have a workaround, so I'll add a new page. And I'll basically click right here to upload the image again. I'll drag it again, the same image. All right, let me do it again here. Now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to set the image to the background. And this time around, I only want to grab our guy. So I'm going to click on Edit. I actually should have done that at first. So I'm going to use the magic grab right here. I'm going to grab the guy first. Now the guy will, I grabbed him with some text, but let me pause for a second. I'm going way too fast. Let me go back. So I'm going to start off by actually, instead of grabbing the guy, I'm going to grab this text that's at the bottom because it has to be isolated from his t-shirt, all right? So I'll click this because I can grab it, individually. And so I'll go ahead and grab that first, and then I'll just grab the guy, and I'll give the guy a pretty green glow. Here, this might be like a glitch. Let me go to the initial page and delete it. Now, this has been extracted. I can remove it. And now it's time for us to grab our guy because, as you've noticed, when we grab the text, I'm going to magic grab the guy. And previously, when we grabbed the text, it actually botched his face, and we don't want that. So I'm going to grab the guy out of the design. Then I'll grab the text, and that is actually advantageous because it gives us the ability to put the guy in front of the text so that the text will look in the background, all right? It will look like it's in the background, which is pretty fantastic if you ask me. I don't know what's this with Canva today that's actually pretty it's showing these technical glitches with the Magic Studio, but I think I can work around that by just refreshing the page, hopefully. We have more thumbnails that we need to create as well, right? I want to show you that this is a pretty good tool. Now here's our guy. Now we can move the guy however we like. But first, before moving the guy however we like, which I hope Canva gives us the courtesy to doing that because it's hyper slow. I don't know why. I'm going to click edit the image that's in the back. And here I should be able to grab that text. So I'll use the grab text tool. And I'll grab this part that says $10,000 a month. We don't really care about, this face here because it's actually going to be hidden by our guy. Though you could put a real dollar bill in the back instead of this dollar bill. I think that might actually work a little bit better. Now here, I'll just change this from $10,009 to $10,000. And then I'll actually go ahead and make sure that I expand this. This shouldn't be a dot. It should actually be a comma. And just expand it in a way. What we can also do is we can position this to the very back. And here we could click on the spacing. We could add some letter spacing. Not that much though. Just enough, so that things are a bit more, and then I could just, spread it from here so that it's all in one line. Now let me just try to do something like this. Okay, $10,000 a month. Right. I think I could probably just, just decrease the size. Or I could potentially, instead of, adding the line spacing, I could bring it back to close to 0. And then from here, I could just double click and add a space in here instead. And maybe just reduce the size of this. And then just position it right here. I think that's much better. But I'll have to position our guy in the center for that to work perfectly. And then I'll move this slightly over here. And you can see that this is much better, $10,000 a month. Now, if you want that $10,000 a month to stand out, you can use the neon effect at a higher intensity. You could also use a different color than that. So I could click the color and then go for green. If you don't like this green, change it with something else. And then you can click on our guy. We can edit him out as well. We can adjust and auto adjust the color. And then we can just go back and give the guy a shadow glow. But this shadow glow, you can decide if you want it to be black, green, yellow, white, whatever. Now I'll go for green. And I'll just decrease the blur kind of a little bit. I'll decrease the intensity a little bit. And that's about it. And I can just increase the size and position him somewhere right there. And voila, we have a pretty impressive thumbnail. To be honest, this is pretty good, So now that's first, that's the first one. Now let's go for something else. Now here we have this YouTuber. So let me just copy this image again. And let's say that this time around, we're making a video about how to make maybe $200 a day. Now, that's just pure speculation. Of course, we're not, this is just for an exercise. And you can see that we started from this and we got something entirely different. And at the same time, if you don't really want to put any work, just take a design that's already, 100% accurate with no grammatical mistakes. Like this one, for example, is pretty good to go. The most you can do to it is you can just edit the colors out. For example, this one as well is pretty good, This one as well is ready to go. But I just, wanted to let you know that you can also do that with Canva if you like a specific design, but just want to edit it out maybe, okay? Now, you also need to realize that we can switch between different design styles. So let's say we want this to be in design instead of realistic. I'll choose that and click remix. And let's just keep it, working on it. It's quite fast. It's actually a bit faster than Midjourney, which is quite surprising. Now I'm going to click on Control V after clearing everything out from there. Now I'll remix. And then here, this is the YouTuber. Obviously, we don't want this to be exactly the same as this YouTuber. We want somebody younger. So an older man, instead of an older man, we could say an older lady. Or actually not an older lady, a younger lady. A younger redhead lady. Let's say red head or red hair lady wearing glasses and a red shirt, or not a red shirt, a red, I don't know, a red costume, not a red tuxedo, a red, red, whatever. Let's just keep it red shirt. Seated at the table with an Apple laptop, da 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 da. She is leaning back, with her arms in her head, seemingly, relaxed, triumphant posture. The laptop, this little graphic, da 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 da. All right, but here the part 599. Let's say we put that at 200, and let's leave the image weight at 220. And let's say we want to go this time. We want the results to be purely realistic, so I'll choose realistic and I'll click send. And then here, now the results of the previous the design model have came out. And these are design style. If you want your thumbnail maybe like have a design style aspect to it, you can go with that. And you just send in as many prompts as possible to see the results. See the kind of like wait until you get the best results. And here, as you can see, this is quite fantastic. We're getting a couple of results. And we've changed from the guy to here. And if you want, you can probably go for 50 in terms of the image weight, and then also hit the remix, and then see what that gives. I'm just worried when I increase the image weight, because the original image displays a man, and so when you change the prompt from man to woman, then you could have some issues going in there. So that's why I like to keep things less than 50 when I'm remixing. Like I said, these are one of the things that I don't like about it, but I think that 50 here worked pretty good. It worked really fine. It gave us some pretty cool designs here. These ones are pretty good. They're equally good as the initial one that we started from. Now here we have, this one is about DeepSeek. There's a lot of other ones that you can do. Okay. Now, I don't know. Let's say, for example, that you want to maybe create something like this. So, okay, so let's go ahead and copy this one. Let's click right here, go back. Here you have this button that enables you to clear the text. You can also click the X here. Now I'll click Control V to paste the image. Not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Failed to copy it. Let me copy it again. Go back to Ideogram. Control V. Remix. And let's say that you want to change the amount and also change from woman to man, or maybe leave woman, but just change a couple of attributes. Here it says 897.79. So let's say we say 999.15. And let's say that we also, a woman with blonde hair, instead of blonde hair, let's say with I don't know, red hair. Pointing towards laptop, a blue-eyed, let's say a blue-eyed woman. And then here, we change the money amount, we change that. So let's leave it at 50 and click the remix. And let's see what that gives us. In the meantime, we could go looking for more. For instance, these can be pretty impressive as well. Let's say you also want to create something similar to this. Just remember that you can use the combination of Canva Magic Studio and Ideogram as well. They work perfectly together. Now let's go back. So I think I copied this one. Yeah. So this is the one. Now this one is clearly done with Canva. It's not something very difficult, but it's a pretty good thumbnail. And with this method, you're not just limited to Canva. Now here we have some designs and because we've left the mode to auto, so it actually just went and created some designs, realistic style and also not so realistic style. For example, this one is realistic and it's exactly what we want. a redhead woman with blue eyes. It also has changed the amount of money there. Now let's do one more. All right, so let's come over here. Let's click on Control V. This one, a remix. Let's say, for example, I don't know today what's me with the hair. A woman with dark hair. But let's say with brown hair. Brown hair, wearing a white T-shirt. Let's say a dollar T-shirt, dollar shirt, seated. Da, da, da. Let's say you want to change this to maybe $300 instead of 200. Here again, 300. When you change it in a place, change it anywhere else. The lazy, possibly through laziness. Okay, so this part I will remove it. The lazy way, instead of the lazy way, you can say the easy way. And then we can just click the remix. And then also we can come back and click realistic and generate another variation, realistic style. I think that is pretty good. All right. So both are, it's working on both of them, which is pretty good. Now, the first one here, we have a different results. So it doesn't really know ethnicity, this tool. So it doesn't really care much. It just generates a result. But if you want, to be specific, for example, you can say, an Asian woman, wearing wearing a green dollar bill style shirt, and then you can hit the remix again. In the meantime, I could go and check the other designs here. They're pretty good. They're really, really good. And, it's pretty good. These can be very good material. And then we have more. These ones are using the realistic style. And they're pretty much the same, not so much difference. And so let's see the other ones here. Now we changed the ethnicity to Asian. Okay, $300 the easy way. $300 the easy way. $300 the easy way. You could say an Arab woman. An Arab woman with hijab. You could say, or wearing a hijab, wearing a green dollar sign and a green dollar style shirt. And then you can generate, and you can see that kind of gives you all the results. So, it really depends on you. Now, these images, when we talk about YouTube thumbnails, you have both freelance, you can start your own channel and not worry about thumbnails anymore, because you can just generate the best thumbnails without having to hire a freelancer, because now you've learned a skill in this short lesson. You can also start selling this as a freelancer. You can also generate thumbnails and use them as ads, believe it or not. But if you go to YouTube, for example, and search, for example, about trading, you'll find that, usually at the very top, now because I have YouTube Premium, I don't see the ads, but usually the ads are at the top, okay? And these ads generally look something like this. And now you have the capacity to generate equally high quality ads like this, with this method. Now, like I said here, we changed from, to a woman with hijab. And as you can see, this is pretty cool. I specifically like this one. I think this one is pretty good. It's the most accurate. This one has changed the number from 300 to 330. But these are pretty good, really good. This one is also very nice because she's wearing a T-shirt, kind of like a dollar sign T-shirt. And kind of like in all of them, she's wearing it. It's pretty good, right? So, I could go on and on. I could make this a much larger video, and we could go on and generate more and more and more thumbnails. But the bottom line is this. Use this skill wisely, and you can make it your money-making skill if you'd like. This is a skill. Usually, when you learn a skill, you just have to find the clients. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll definitely be seeing you in next lectures.